So, are you clean now?
Yes, ma'am.
Just double check that this morning, okay? Have a seat in the jury box. I'm gonna have you drug tested this morning. All right, we're back on the record in cause number 25 DCCR 1374. Mr. Vital tested positive for cocaine.
Ma'am.
I'm sorry.
I just need help.
Well, you've gotten the help and you're looking at a cap of 4, and I was well on my way to giving you an opportunity. But
That instant panic you just watched in the preview, that is the exact second a massive gamble crashes down in real time. But you haven't seen the messy web of excuses that actually force the judge's hand. This is the state versus Junius Vital. On the surface, it looks like a standard failure to register case, but really, it's a high-stakes masterclass in courtroom deception with 4 solid years of state prison on the line. Vital looks the judge dead in the eye and swears he's completely clean. So why does a routine sentencing hearing suddenly trigger an immediate surprise drug test from the bench? And if he's truly just a man desperate for help, why is his defense attorney's entire narrative falling apart right in front of him? If you want to understand courtroom psychology and watch exactly how lies get caught in real time, hit subscribe. Let's see how this unfolded.
good morning. Are you Junius Vital? And this is 25 DCCR 1374. Mr. Vital previously was here, entered a plea of guilty to the 3rd-degree felony offense of failure to comply with sex offender registration requirements. The agreement was for a cap of 4 years in prison. I've received the pre-sentence report. Have you both had an opportunity to review that report?
I have, Your Honor.
Yes, Judge.
Any additions or corrections?
None of them are, Judge.
Not from the state.
All right, Mr. Parker, you may proceed.
Your Honor, Mr. Vital, he's, as far as I understand, he's done a pretty good job reporting for the last 10 years. He's lived around here, and he's also lived in the Houston area. I think the Houston was the last place that he was registered properly. He ended up going to a place called the Wheelhouse. I know it's called the Wheelhouse.
Yes,
In Deer Park area. He tried to register there, but he wasn't actually a resident. He was doing jobs out of there, but he was living in his car. And then when they denied him because of city ordinance, that's why he couldn't live there, city ordinance rules, then he appealed it and it still got denied. And then he applied. He was going back and forth between his sister's house in Beaumont and working there in Houston. And you tried to apply here in Beaumont as well on.
That's where I'm registered at Beaumont.
So where are you registered right now?
My sisters keep them folks in Beaumont.
In Beaumont.
Yes, ma'am.
And that's where you're living and you are properly registered at this
Yes,
time.
ma'am.
And I believe he's had some issues in the past. He had a substance abuse issue. He's done well with that. I think, he's not one that just ignored what he's supposed to do. I think he's tried, which is way more than I can say for a lot of people. And we're asking the court to give him probation, Judge.
Mr. Smith?
Judge, the state's going to argue for 4 years in prison in this case. The nature of the previous aggravated sexual assault of a child, I think the facts were fairly aggravating, and he was given probation initially, wound up getting revoked when he committed a new offense, and was revoked and sent to TDC for a 30-year sentence and then a 20-year sentence. It looks like even the PSI notes that even though the criminal history is limited, the circumstances of the offenses are severe. He was given probation in the past that resulted in revocation, and looks like he does try to justify his actions in the PSI interview.
I may respond.
Hold on, I just want to know, when did you parole out? How long have you been out?
2015.
2015? And so since 2015, there haven't been any issues with reporting or. And it looks like, so while you were since you've been on parole, you've also gone to ISF, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay,
That's why I was still in parole. I discharged in 2022.
you did?
Yes, ma'am.
And I would just like to say that, you know, part of his revocation was, as according to him, and I think the probation officer, was substance issues, and I think that's part of the reason why he didn't.
Well,
make the
yeah, I mean,
probation.
it was revoked a year after based
Right.
on a possession case. And that, I mean, I don't disagree with Mr. Smith, but the criminal history, I mean, we're talking about 1991, 1993. We've had 11 years of reporting, and the wheelhouse is somewhere. I understand you're trying to get some help and do some good things, but you understand you can't do that if you can't.
Yes, ma'am.
You have to be able to be somewhere where we know where you are
Yes, ma'am.
and that you're properly registered.
And that's when they went and denied me out there.
Go ahead.
When they denied me out there, you know what I'm saying, I talked to them. And when I came, I said, I'm just going out there and going, you know, register, you know, back in Beaumont. And then I was still trying, you know, continue, you know, so working the program.
Right.
Drug and treatment program.
So are you clean now?
Yes, ma'am.
Just double check that this morning, okay? Have a seat in the jury box. I'm gonna have you drug tested this morning. All right, we're back on the record in clause number 25 DCCR 1374. Mr. Vital tested positive for cocaine. So Mr. Vital, you've been to ISF twice while you're on parole. So parole's given you two opportunities not to revoke your parole. And you get off parole and here you are with another felony and you're using cocaine again.
You need some help, Miss ma'am.
I'm sorry?
I just need help.
Well, you've gotten the help and you're looking at a cap of 4 and I was well on my way to giving you an opportunity. But there's no way I can do that with your criminal history and the fact that you've been given, because if you hadn't been to ISF, I'd say, okay, maybe I'll send you to ISF, but you've been twice in the last 5 years. All right, at this time, I'm going to find that you entered your plea of guilty previously, freely and voluntarily. Find sufficient evidence to find you guilty, and at this time, find you guilty of failure to comply with sex offender registration requirements. Sentence you to a term of 4 years in the institutional division of the Texas Department of Corrections. You will receive credit on that sentence for any time that you've been in custody that the law gives you the right to receive. I'm handing you the trial court certification that shows that this was an agreement that I followed, and so you've waived your right to appeal. I also handed you a written admonishment regarding your ineligibility to possess a firearm or ammunition. Because of the judgment entered against you, you're ineligible under Texas law to possess a firearm or ammunition. Possession of a firearm or ammunition could lead to charges against you. If you have any questions about the laws that make you ineligible to possess a firearm or ammunition, or about how long that lasts, you can talk with Mr. Park. All right, good luck to you, sir. You can go back with the bailiff.
The judge made her final call, sending Junius Vital away for 4 hard years. But here's the question. Was this calculated manipulation or just a desperate addict out of options? Comment below Team Judge or Team Vital. Could you have shown him mercy after that lie? If this courtroom showdown got you thinking, hit like. And share this with anyone who loves watching real justice unfold.